But okay, let's go to our last part, an example. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually fill in the requirements parts. So let's bring an example that we just had an interview. If you watched the previous webinars, this is the position that we've been using through all of the webinars. So for let's say in here, we have a requirement, a proven ability to drive customer acquisition through marketing. And we had the interview, and here's, what I wrote down, that she has a lot of experience on increasing the brand awareness, and she explained in detail how she did email marketing, had good results at getting people to join email lists, good conversation rates, and etc. Not much experience in online marketing like ads and AdWords. Okay, so what would be something that we could ask here, Tõnis?
So more or less, what you see on the screen are the questions for interviewing the candidates, and are then the comments of Mirel, who interviewed the candidate. So now when you prepare for this reference check, you should just look at this information, what you have in this evaluation sheet, and decide what is the information you are missing. So maybe you might ask something like this, like, what can you say about this candidate's ability to drive customer acquisition through marketing? So can you tell me something about this? And that's it. So more or less the same kind of question you would ask from the candidates, you would now ask from the person who this candidate was reporting to. Or then some specifics which you want. But the main thing is that for specific questions, you have to look very carefully to the evaluation results, what you have about this candidate, and make your mind what, in addition to this information, what this candidate has given to you, you want to get from their superior. Okay, so let's say I don't know, let's say I didn't listen, and now I would like to in here, because the comment says that the candidate first said that the team was really independent, that they didn't have this kind of structure of hierarchy of team manager and the team members, but when we asked about the managerial experience, then the candidates suddenly started very vaguely explaining how she was actually the manager and how she managed the team. So what could I ask here? I think it's not good to ask what do you think if she is a good manager? No, it's not a good. You might have asked something like, can you describe what kind of relationship he had with the team, and or do you know about the team he was managing? How was this situation there? Anything which helps you to clarify this confusion, what you describe here.
Okay, so here we have ensuring accountability, and just to explain, Wisnio, its candidates make their Wisnio account, and then they take a series of tests. And this is, of course, based on self-evaluation, the competencies part. But here we can see that the person herself already evaluated themselves very low in ensuring accountability.
Yeah, but the main thing is that the candidate's self-evaluation of their competencies is not so important. Important is what you as a hiring manager decide about this competency, and what their previous managers thought about the competencies. So you might want to ask the same type of behavioral interview question about competencies, the same type of question what you asked from the candidates themselves. So for example, the second question here. So do you know a situation where this candidate dealt with an underperforming team member? Are you aware of any of these situations? And then you listen
what you hear, and you decide whether this rating what you have given here is good, or maybe you want to change it. So the same thing, like you basically ask the same question you asked the candidate, and you can maybe add your comments or change your rating based on this.
Okay, so as a summary,
the idea is that you ask concrete examples, not just ratings, but you ask concrete examples, and based on these examples, you make your own rating.
Okay, so as a summary, you need to have good position map, because this is like the guideline of what I want to know. This also guidelines the interview with the candidate, and after the interview, based on the position map you have and based on the comments you have made, you choose where you're lacking information, basically, and what you want to ask during the reference calls. And 2 to 3 reference calls were optimal. And did we cover how long one reference call usually is? Like, how long is okay, basically, to keep people on the phone?
It's usually between 10 and 20 minutes, but of course, sometimes when the person you're calling is ready to talk more, you can spend some more time, but I usually ask for 10-15 minutes, sometimes go over it, but well, it's a favor the person makes you, so you can't abuse the time. But sometimes they get excited and talk, so you maybe just be ready to talk more than 15 minutes sometimes. Stanley said here in the comments that, well, if you have very specific things you want to validate or know about the candidate, then the person you are calling might not be able to evaluate them correctly. Then you're calling the wrong person, I would say. You would only ask the questions you know that this person has enough information to answer. So if you're calling someone about something very technical they doesn't know, then this is the right question to ask.
To add all of this, the called person, so who you're calling for the reference check, might be very cautious to share anything non-positive, as this might even be against made agreements or even local labor law. Or just, yeah, it's like maybe you don't want to say even anything bad. So what are you going to do in this situation if you see that?
This is the basic situation, actually, which is the baseline you have to consider, that anyone you call have several reasons not to reveal any negative information. So you have to be clever to get to this negative information, and you be kind of have to be clever to read behind the lines here. That is, for example, the simple reason for the executive, if he has hired this person and he doesn't want to say anything bad, because it would say that you hired the wrong person. And the other thing might be that they might have had an agreement that, well, we don't talk anything bad about each other. And these two things are like very usually in place. There is also, Stanley has mentioned that how many specifics can you ask? So the KPIs might be confidential, for example. Yeah, of course. It's nice if you say that, well, I'm not asking anything confidential, but just can you give me a little bit more information about this? Or maybe if the KPIs were confidential, then they would say no. You can anyway ask. It's no problem.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, you can contact us at support@wisnio.com.